Alright, so if you want to see how I created this Kendall Jenner inspired everyday makeup look for beginners, then just keep watching. So first up, I'm using this NYX Dewy Finish setting spray just as a primer, and then going in with the L'Oreal Youth Code Pore Vanisher. This is just to even out my skin texture before I put on the foundation, which is Nars Sheer Glow in the colour Punjab. So I've just dotted that foundation all over my face, and I am blending that all out using a beauty blender. And I love using a beauty blender because I find that it's just a really foolproof way to get really flawless foundation. You don't have to worry about any sort of brush streaks or anything like that. The sponge really does all the work for you. A cheaper alternative would be the Beauty Sponge by Real Techniques. Quality is supposed to be just as good as the beauty blender. Now I'm using my Sephora concealer, this is in the colour Custard, and I've just placed that underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead and the centre of my chin, basically all the areas that you will highlight, so where the light will naturally hit your face. Just tapping that into my skin using the beauty blender. To set the concealer under my eyes and to stop it from creasing, I'm using the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. And to set all the other areas where I have already placed the concealer, I'm going to be using Banana and Vanilla from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And to warm up my face a bit, I'm going to be using the Nars Laguna bronzer. And this is just something I do when I find that my foundation might be a little light in comparison to my neck. So I just bronze up the outer perimeter of my face, just to give it a bit more warmth. Here I'm using the same Anastasia Beverly Hills kit, using the shades Java and Fawn, just to further chisel out those cheekbones. I needed a bit more help, just to try and look a bit more chiseled and defined like Kendall Jenner. For blush today I'm using Fleur by MAC, and just putting that on the apples of my cheeks, bringing it back towards my ears. Spraying a bit of that NYX setting spray onto a brush and applying my highlighter with this brush, and this acts to just intensify that to highlight a bit more. Just grooming through my brows before I will be using the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is in the colour Medium Brown. And I do have a more in-depth tutorial on my brow routine. I've just done exactly the same thing as that, except I have skipped the brow pomade today. And just priming my eyes using the Urban Decay Priming Potion. So just try to keep the eyes nice and simple today. The first colour I'm going to use is that same Nars Laguna bronzer. Just placing that in the crease of my eye, and I'm using like a windscreen wiper motion just to blend that out. Now I'm using All That Glitters by MAC, and this is just a shade that I'm going to place all over my lid. You could use any shimmery sort of champagne shade, or a shade that is similar to your natural colour. Now I'm using Mulch by MAC, which is like a shimmery bronzy coppery colour, and I'm just emphasising that on the outer corner of my eye, really just keeping on the outer third portion. Making sure just to blend that out very slowly by just taking a little bit of the colour at a time and blending that out. Now I'm using this ChiChi eyeliner pencil. This is in the colour Low Cal Chocolate, and I'm just running this along my upper lash line. And the great thing about this is that you don't have to be very neat at all, because I will be smudging that out. Here I'm just spraying a brush with that same NYX setting spray, and I'm going to be using that same shade All That Glitters, and just packing that onto the inner part of my eye and the tear duct area, just to make that really bright. Now I'm setting everything in place using this Nars translucent setting powder. I'm just curling my lashes, and I find that if I tilt the lash wand up a little bit, then the curl seems to hold a little bit longer. For mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous False Fibre Mascara. This is a black one. And I'm just applying that to the top and bottom lashes, just making sure to try and coat every lash. Now this next part is completely optional, and I'm very aware that applying false lashes might not be the ideal thing if you are a complete beginner, but I just felt that this look needed just a little something extra. And the lashes that I'm using today are the Girl Next Door, and this is from the XoBeauty range. Now I'm going over that using this Rimmel eyeliner pen, just filling any gaps and just trying to cover that lash glue. And just keeping the lips super simple today, I'm using the GERARD Cosmetics lip gloss in the colour Buttercream and setting that all in place with that same NYX setting spray. And this is the completed Kendall Jenner inspired everyday makeup look for beginners. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you next week.